So, how long should your podcast episodes be?
Let's Get This Podcast Started is a production of Get a Grip Studios.
Hi, I'm Scott Walker. I'm a producer at Get a Grip Studios, and I've been podcasting since a year with 2 zeros in it. And the great thing about this question is that the right answer has changed over time. You can actually chart the best practices the same way you can count rings in a tree. Back in the very old days, the very first edition of Podcasting for Dummies literally told you that the longest you should make an episode is 7 minutes, because that is how long you could expect a listener to maintain completely undivided attention. We soon realized that people just divide their attention all the time, and we assumed that the best place to divide their attention was in their cars. So, the rule became split in a way. It was split in a way. The average commute by car in the US is 45 minutes. That's still the norm for a lot of people. A lot of people will tell you 45 minutes. But this was still the early days, which meant that a lot of people, or at least a very vocal bunch of people, were listening in their cars by taking a blank CD and burning the MP3 file into the audio CD format, which caps at 74 minutes. I'm not joking. One of the first things I learned to do as an editor was cut a long episode into 2 parts so I could have it on 2 CDs. I learned this from a resource page on Dragon's Landing Inn. Yeah, CD burners, that was a time. Not long after that, we did enter the era of the smartphone and the data plan, and the question of length kind of got a little muddy. It got a little muddy because what happened is that, well, you could make a long show a smaller file by doing compression. You could run lower bit rates. You could offer people different formats that used less space on their hard drive or took up less data. And I tell you that I offered .ogg files for 10 years. Nobody downloaded .ogg files, not once. But again, the 45-minute rule stuck. Of course, now we live in an era where hard drive space is plentiful, data plans are bounteous, and we also know that the hardcore listener, like the dedicated podcast fan, they might not commute, but the commute is only part of their listening experience. They tend to be headphones on all day people, whether that's they've got a desk job, whether that means they work a shift work that's solitary and they need that going on. They work out, they do chores. They are people who have podcasts running all the time. They just let the playlist spin as long as they need. Which means that there's no right answer, really, for how long your show should be. I will tell you that shorter is better. There's a lot of ways to be shorter. Some of that's planning, some of that's post-production, and some of that is just having that fingertip feel of when to cut an episode off. Of course, you won't know how long you like to talk, how long your audience likes to listen, or how much time you want to spend editing a show until you get your podcast started. And if you don't know how to do that, if you need a hand, you can go to getagripstudios.com. It's got my email. It's got Mike's voicemail. Someone will get back to you. We are ready to offer you advice or an opportunity to talk it out on this very show. But until next time, take care of yourself.
Let's Get This Podcast Started is a production of Get a Grip Studios. Do you want to start a podcast? Do you need help with your existing podcast? Do you want to record some conversations or a presentation? Do you want to be a guest on Let's Get This Podcast Started? Go to getagripstudios.com.